Yo, what's going on, everybody? So this is a weekly outlook video, first week of March. So here we go. With it being the first week, also to remember, it's NFP week. So I'm Clay with Top One Trader, and let's get right into it. So before we start looking at the charts, specifically the dollar, let's take a look at what we have in terms of data earlier in the week. I think we got some stuff coming out with Japan, which that's always a wild card. You just really honestly never know with if it's going to move the markets or not. But other than that, the big thing I'm looking for is there's not too much going on, minus Thursday. We have the ECB, and then later on Friday, unemployment, and of course NFP, non-farm payroll. So I think in terms of data earlier in the week it's going to be a little more chill, not as much going on, and then later in the week that's when you're going to get obviously the euro and the dollar moves on the dollar, and potentially some CAD moves. CAD is always employment, change, unemployment, and while the US has our unemployment rate and NFP. So taking a look at some of the charts here, and what really sticks out in my mind at the end of this week is some of these dollar pairs. Now, pound has been holding up super strong in comparison to, say, Aussie dollar, right? Aussie had a big breakdown, and a big reason for this is because there's been a lot of risk off. In other words, this past week, if we take a look at the S&P 500, big breakdown lower, NASDAQ as well, US 30. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of a resurgence here, but because of the just despair in a lot of these markets, gold dropping off a cliff as well, and also too, worth noting, oil too. So it's an interesting time right now. New Zealand is along with Aussie, right? So both of these being commodity currencies, and they're getting hit super hard by these struggling markets. So but nonetheless, pound holding up pretty strong. Here is our level of support here. And then in terms of the euro, we dropped down below the 200 SMA here. We got the envelope, but it's looking pretty heavy. I think it's going to be one to watch going into obviously Thursday, which is a few days away for sure. A lot can happen between now and then, but something to keep in mind for sure. Taking a look at, last but not least, one of my favorite pairs to trade is dollar CAD, and it's looking pretty bullish for the dollar. So just like Aussie and New Zealand being commodity currencies, CAD is as well, right? So this is a little trick you can do. Invert the scale, right? So this is upside down. Of course, the symbols are backwards. US first, then CAD. But if you take a look at Aussie dollar, invert that back, you can see that looks just like the Canadian, right? So maybe we're going to move higher for Aussie dollar, and this would create a good shorting opportunity. Boom, something along those lines. And if we take a look at dollar CAD inversely, maybe some sort of bounce back to this SMA, and then that would provide a potential long opportunity. So those are what I'll be watching going into NFP week. I will of course be paying attention to gold. I think it's worth, because we've had such a move off that high, almost at 3K. Now we're at 28.40. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. Last but not least, man, Bitcoin back at 80K. So I think everybody, when Trump got inaugurated, thought it was going to go to 200K. And, but for buyers, this could be a pretty decent opportunity. So that being said, let's have a great week, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Let's make it happen. We got some amazing stuff that's about to launch here pretty soon. Can't let the cat out of the bag yet, but I think y'all are going to like it. So that being said, let's go. Have a great week.